According to the mainstream media, it would seem that everyone that commits a crime these days is a Donald Trump supporter. Media outlets are now rife with stories of violence and acts of intolerance that supposed Trump backers are committing, in most cases with very little proof, and in some cases, the stories have been debunked entirely. I'm sure just about everyone has heard about the Muslim woman from the University of Louisiana that claimed that two men that were wearing Trump gear attacked her, stole her wallet, and then her car. Well, she later admitted to fabricating that story. Kathy Marat, too, a student at the University of Minnesota, also claimed in this Facebook post that went viral that a man yelled at her to go back to Asia and grabbed her wrist. Tu then describes a heroic escape complete with a punch to the throat of the accused, and then explains that the police showed up and put her in cuffs, but then let her go after hearing her side of the story. Of course, the police didn't have any record of responding to that call. There are also reports of racist graffiti being scrawled across buildings, but honestly, if the anti-Trumpers will lie about violent crimes, who knows who's committing these acts? Could it be the progressives losing their minds about the election results themselves? The media is even going as far as publishing stories about 12-year-olds chanting "Build the Wall," which isn't violent nor a crime, by the way. CNN even went as far as publishing a list of Donald Trump-inspired hate crimes. Meanwhile, real acts and suggestions of violence are being committed by George Soros-funded Move On protesters. They're beating people up and getting arrested, setting fire to the American flag, and even calling for the rape of Melania Trump. Despicable behavior. I thought progressives were all about peace, tolerance, and acceptance. They're vandalizing and looting, and they're even calling for Donald Trump to be assassinated. There are only a handful of stories out there on those events, and it's not the mainstream media reporting them. And this is exactly why nobody trusts them anymore, but they still haven't gotten that message and continue to push out the narrative that Donald Trump and his supporters are violent racists and criminals, despite the fact that claims that his voters don't fall into those categories, and despite the fact that many of these reports about violent Trump supporters have been fabricated. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Thanks so much for watching. Here in Canada, our own public broadcaster is bought and paid for by the government. Sign our petition at sellthecbc.ca and send the message that the CBC shouldn't receive even one more penny of taxpayer money.